Hey Barbies, hey Kens, it's finally here. Greta Gerwig's highly anticipated, pastel-drenched, all-star adaptation of Mattel's doll Barbie is finally here in cinemas, and I finally get to talk about it. I have no shame in admitting that Barbie was probably my most anticipated film of 2023. Yeah, more so than Oppenheimer, more so than Dune Part 2. This was the one for me, guys. And I know what you're probably thinking, oh, the gay boy was excited to watch Barbie. Shocking, I know, but what might actually come as a surprise to some of you is that as a kid, I had zero interest in Barbie. I didn't own a Barbie doll, but I was so excited for this film. First of all, the talent in this film, like both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, like the cast of this film, wow. But really, it was the knowledge that Greta Gerwig was writing and directing this Barbie movie that got me pumped. Her last two films, Lady Bird and Little Women, were 10 out of 10s for me. And with her directorial skills and the tag team comedic sensibilities of her and her real-life partner Noah Baumbach, that's what made me believe that this movie could be so much more than just a movie about a doll, and it really truly is. I say this without a shred of sarcasm or irony. Greta Gerwig's Barbie truly is the film of our times, and also the film we so desperately need right now, okay? This movie is pure joy. There is something about this film, whether it's the vibrant colors or the disco-infused soundtrack or the imaginative, playful set design, or even just the unapologetically silly dialogue, which radiates joy off the screen. Like, if you could have seen my face in the cinema, it just would have been 2 hours of me looking like this. Seriously, I had the biggest, dorkiest smile plastered all over my face for 2 hours. This film transported me to Barbie Land, okay? I felt like a kid again watching this film. And it's one of those movies where you can tell that everybody that had a hand in making it got to play and have fun. I mean, everyone. The props department, the art department, the painters, the gaffers, the supporting artists, the hair and makeup team, heck, even the caterers. I envy anybody that got to work on this film because they got paid to come to work and play. I don't want to go into too much detail about the plot, but the film is primarily set in Barbie Land, where all the Barbies live out their best lives day in and day out. Life is bliss in Barbie Land, that is until stereotypical Barbie, who's played by Margot Robbie, not kidding, that's how she identifies as stereotypical Barbie, because she's Margot Robbie, of course, she starts thinking about death. Her usual high-heeled feet become flat, which is a sign that she is malfunctioning, so she must venture into the real world along with Ken, who's played by Ryan Gosling, who tags along for the ride, to find the Mattel offices in California and get some answers. But both Ken and Barbie soon learn that the real world isn't all that it's cracked up to be. A lot of people will be going into this film thinking, oh, it's a Barbie movie, it must be made for kids, right? Well, not really, because this Barbie is having an existential crisis and this Ken gets sucked into the patriarchy, okay? This is an adult Barbie and Ken film. Like, you can definitely still take your kids to this film and they will probably have a good time with it, but it's the grown-ups that are gonna get so much more out of it. There's a lot of under-the-radar adult jokes that kids just aren't gonna get. And while it's buckets of fun regardless of age, it does have something meaningful to say about how impossible it is to be a woman. America Ferrera, another standout performance as Gloria, gets this incredible monologue about the expectations and also the contradictions of what it means to be a woman in these modern times. But yeah, this is what I came for with Barbie, okay? I knew I was gonna get a fun, visually striking, entertaining movie, but I knew I was also gonna get some substance, and this film has so much of it. It's kind of amazing how Greta Gerwig has taken Barbie, something that was quite problematic for a lot of women for a long time. She was always sort of like seen as a symbol of like the unrealistic standards of female beauty, as well as like another symbol for like sexualized capitalism. But with what she's done with the role of Barbie here and all the Barbies in this movie, like, she's made her a feminist icon now. Margot Robbie is magnificent as Barbie. Like, this kind of feels like the role that she was born to play. She not only looks the part, but I loved her doll-like physicality, particularly in the Barbie world. It's just the little details that she adds which makes it so special. Like, The way she pops her hands on her lap as she goes down the slide, or the way that she waves her hands in the car, it's like her elbows actually have plastic joints in them. But it's only when she leaves Barbie land and goes on this journey of self-discovery into the real world where we really see the character growth, okay? It's only when she escapes that pretty pink bubble where we finally see her become more human, like experiencing proper human emotions for the first time. Like we're literally watching her bring the character to life. It kind of reminded me of Amy Adams' performance as Giselle in the movie Enchanted, you know, where she's an animated Disney princess in the animated world of Andalasia, but it's only when she enters the real world where she really starts to grapple with the complexities of human emotions, and it's not always sunshine, daffodil, and rainbows, okay? Being human is hard. But yeah, Margot Robbie's performance was fabulous. And then there's Ken, played by Ryan Gosling. Just gonna say this now, guys. Believe the hype. The Kenergy is real. This performance, to use Ken's words, sublime. Whether he's singing, dancing, or being casually misogynistic to women in the real world, Ryan Gosling goes hard as the lovelorn beach Ken. He is fully committed to this role. I think people forget just how funny Ryan Gosling actually is. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys, that's homework before you watch Barbie. He really is delightful as Ken. He was so much fun to watch, and that's because his character actually gets a fleshed out, fully realized arc. To me, he was the funniest character, but he also gets some of the most heartbreaking scenes, particularly towards the end of the film. Like, it's not just Barbie who's having a crisis in this film, okay? Ken is having a full-blown identity crisis as well. Because he is so codependent on Barbie to feel validated, he doesn't really know who he is. I'm not lying when I say this, but Ken is probably in my top 5 of Ryan Gosling's performances ever. Now, we definitely need to talk about its Oscars chances because Barbie is most certainly going to be a player come Oscar season. Not only do I expect it to be nominated in a fair amount of categories, but I can potentially see it winning in a few. So the categories where I think it's a lock for a nomination and could potentially win is costume design for Jacqueline Duran, duh. Production design for Sarah Greenwood, duh. And also makeup and hair, duh. Those are the categories where I feel Barbie is a legit contender to actually win. Some other nominations I feel pretty confident it will get, but not certain it will win, include Ryan Gosling for Best Supporting Actor. Yep, seriously, like, it would be such a cool and inspired pick to see Ryan Gosling nominated for his performance as Ken. And it would be justified. Best Picture seems very likely to me. Like, this is a big movie. It's gonna make money. The Academy tends to nominate a few movies per year, which, you know, general audiences have actually gone to see. And this film is gonna please the critics. It's gonna please the masses. And it's also very smart. What also gives me confidence is knowing that we know that the Academy likes Greta Gerwig, okay? They've nominated her past 2 previous films for Best Picture, so there's every reason to think that Barbie can make it into Best Picture. And of course, talking about Best Picture, we have to discuss it potentially getting a Best Director nom for Greta Gerwig. And if she were to get her second ever nomination for Best Director, she would only be the second woman ever to be nominated twice for Best Director after Jane Campion. But part of me does think this is the type of movie that Gerwig is more likely to get a nomination for the screenplay than she is for directing. Like, she could get both, but I feel more certain about her and Baumbach getting the nomination for screenplay than I do her for getting directing, even though I want to see her get the directing nom. I feel like we're going to get at least one nomination for Best Original Song for Barbie. The question is, though, which one are people going to get behind? Because I can see 3 potentially being nominated. Like, Dua Lipa's Dance the Night is a big moment in the movie. Okay, there's a whole set piece built around it, and it's very Saturday Night Fever, okay? And it's very catchy, it's very earwormy, but I would like to live in a world where I can say Academy Award nominee Dua Lipa, not gonna lie. And then there's Billie Eilish, who has a song called What Was I Made For, which comes during the film's most emotionally effective moment of the film, so maybe Billie Eilish could get another nomination, but is it too soon after her recent win for No Time to Die? I don't think so. A good song is a good song, regardless of how recent her win was for the James Bond movie. And then there's I'm Just Ken, sang by Ryan Gosling, which is iconic. There's no other word for it. Yeah. If Mark Ronson's gonna get nominated, it'll be for that song. And some other categories where it's possible it might be nominated, but I'm feeling less confident it actually will, include Best Actress for Margot Robbie. I thought Margot Robbie was wonderful as Barbie, and I would love to see her nominated for this, but I guess what's holding me back from feeling assured about it is that she wasn't nominated for Babylon, which felt like a much more Oscar baity, grabby type performance, but maybe if Barbie is more of a Best Picture lock than, say, Babylon was, maybe she could show up in Best Actress, but it feels like there's probably more serious performances out there that will squeeze into Best Actress next year. I also think that America Ferrera will be in the conversation, at least, for Best Supporting Actress, because she gets that monologue, or the monologue. But I do wonder, is that monologue enough to get her into the Best Supporting Actress race? And of course, we have to mention the cinematography, because this film is a visual sugar rush. So yeah, don't expect Barbie to leave the awards season discourse anytime soon, because this film shines in so many departments. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, yes, yes. I know I'm gonna go watch this in the cinema multiple times. Can't wait to see it again and again. And yeah, it's definitely a film that's going to be added to the collection and displayed proudly on the wall at some point. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes to all, for women, for men, and for children, okay? This movie was so much fun, but it was also so smart. Like, I know it looks quite shallow and sugary on the surface, but when you sit down and watch it, you actually see there's so much depth to it. I highly recommend you watch this film, guys. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? Probably comes as no surprise that this Ken loved Barbie. Life in Plastic is fantastic. This movie was everything that I wanted it to be and more. I cannot wait to watch it over and over again. I just know this film is gonna be like a part of my personality, and I'm gonna be quoting it randomly to friends. You can tell that so much love and so much thought went into making this film, okay? It's Greta Gerwig's attention to detail, which makes this film such a special treat. So I'm gonna give Barbie a score of 9.5 out of 10. Pretty much perfect. But yeah, I also think it is a film that everyone should watch at least once before they die. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I do want to hear from you. Are you excited for Barbie? Have you seen it? Are you seeing it before Oppenheimer? Whatever you have to say about this movie, let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed the video, help me out with a little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.